guys? Scotty2Hockey here, aka the average hockey fan, aka the diehard Habs fan. And unfortunately, Montreal didn't move down the draft lottery. We're getting the 15th overall pick, but guys, do not sleep on the 15th overall pick. There have been some good 15th overall picks out there in the history of the NHL. Recently, as a matter of fact, Dylan Larkin was picked 15th overall in the NHL. Next to Connor McDavid, I would consider him the fastest player in the league. He's not a superstar right now, but he has all the capabilities of becoming a superstar, and he's definitely Detroit's best player. You guys may have heard of Colorado's GM, former player Joe Sakic. He's a former 15th overall pick. The hardest shot in the league before Zdeno Chara came along. Al McInnes, he's a former 15th overall pick. A guy who used to play for the Habs back in the day. Great goal scorer, Alex Kovalev. He's a former 15th overall pick. The list goes on and on and on with gems that have been picked outside of the top 15 and at the 15th position. So getting the 15th overall pick is not a bad thing by no means. I know a lot of people are saying it's not the best draft, but there are some good young players in this draft. And I'm going to give my top 3 projected possible 15th overall picks that the Montreal Canadiens are going to take. And no, Ryan Suzuki is not on my list because I don't believe he will be available at the 15th position. Although I would love to see Montreal get him. I'm not doing a fantasy list. I'm doing a list of people I think Montreal are realistically going to pick. And the first guy this is a guy I think is the favorite. I think Montreal is going to go after him above everybody. And his name is Ville Heinola. Ville Heinola. He was born in Finland. We all know how much Mark Bergevin loves the guys from Finland lately, and I do not blame him. He's kind of a smaller defenseman. He's 5'11", 176 pounds, but in SM Liga this year, in 34 games played, he had 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. He was a +7. In playoffs in SM Liga this year, he had 7 games played. He had 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. And in the World Junior Tournament, before he got injured, he was top-line defenseman for Finland. World Junior Tournament this year, 5 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's a 5'11" power play quarterback. That's why I think Montreal is going to go after him, because he's a guy, yes, he's a smaller player. I'm not 100% sure if he'd slot into the lineup next year, but down the road, if not next year, which possibly could be a possibility, he is going to help your power play for sure. And some analysts have him ranked outside the top 20, but personally I don't agree with that. Sam Constantino, I believe that's his name, the guy for Sportsnet, he has him ranked 24th. I believe that's way too high. It's kind of an insult to the guy, especially with what he's done in a league of men. He's only a younger guy. He's only 18 years old. He's still going to grow. Yes, I know he's smaller. He's not that tall. He's 176 pounds at the moment, but I'd say by the time he's 20, 21, he could put himself up to 190, 200 pounds. And one thing that separates this guy from everybody else is the fact that he has an excellent hockey IQ, and he's a power play guy. He's a guy that has great edge work. He's not the fastest player by no means. His skating could use some work, but he's good with his edge work. He knows how to come down. He knows how to deke guys out, fake guys, get a pass across, and he got a good wrist shot, and he can crank it from the point if you need him to, and he's going to come in and immediately help your power play. And I believe this is going to be the guy, Mark Bergevin. If I was betting on it, this is the guy I think Mark Bergevin is going to pick. Don't hold me to it though, guys. It could change at any point in time, but if I was betting on it right now, if the draft was right now, this moment, for some reason my gut tells me that's the guy Mark Bergevin would pick. Not because of where he's ranked, not because of where people are putting him to, because of what I see from the guy. He's definitely going to be a top 20 pick in my opinion. And as far as all the defensemen I've seen in the draft so far, you look at what this guy brings, he's like such a perfect fit for Montreal. He's like another Victor Mete, but he seems to have better scoring ability, and he just seems like a confident young player, so he would be a good draft pick for sure. The next guy we have is Raphael Lavoie. He's age 18. He's a Montreal native. He played for the Halifax Mooseheads this year. And he's 6'4", 191 pounds. He's a center/winger. I don't think he would be a center in Montreal. I think he would be a winger. But one thing he brings, he can score on the power play. I'm looking for guys that are going to come in and help the power play and that are going to score goals. And he's a pure goal scorer. That's the one thing every single scouting report I've seen in this guy, they say he's a pure goal scorer, and that's what Montreal needs. This year in Halifax, in 62 games played, he had 32 goals, 41 assists, 73 points, so over a point a game player there, plus 36 in the playoffs. This is what's super impressive about him. In 11 games played in the playoffs, he had 13 goals, 7 assists, was 20 points, and he's a Montreal native, like I said, and in the QMJHL playoffs, he really stepped up. In the first 10 games is when he put up his 13 goals. The last game he didn't score at all. In the first 10 games when he put up his 13 goals. And I feel being a Montreal native is going to help him there. I don't know if they're going to go after a winger, but I had to put somebody besides just the defenseman up there, and I really feel that guy could be the guy that they're going to go after if they don't go after defenseman. But my heart is telling me Marc Bergevin's dead set on getting a defenseman that's going to help the power play. And another defenseman who could help the power play is kind of a bigger name in the draft than the other two guys I mentioned. I'm not 100% sure if Bergevin would take him. He's an American. He's kind of a different fit than what Montreal has, but he definitely can help. And that's Cam York. His position is defenseman. He shoots left. He's age 18. He's 6 feet tall. He's 174 pounds. In the USAHL this year, in 28 games played, he had 7 goals, 26 assists, 33 points. In the USAHL, and the USA National Under 18 team, he had 10 goals, 41 assists, 51 points. He's an excellent skater, has great passing ability, and one thing that has really driven his draft stock up is his skating ability. He's super fast. He fits in with Montreal that way, but one thing he needs to work on that I don't like about him myself is I don't think he has the greatest shot. I don't think he has the greatest finishing ability. He can help on the power play. He's an excellent passer. He's very fast. He's good at setting up. He's positionally sound. He has a good hockey IQ. But one thing about this guy, Connor, bothers me about him a bit is he's kind of like a Turi Lehkonen. Like, he gets so many more chances. Should have so many more points than what he has, because if you actually watch him play, he gets so many chances that he doesn't capitalize on. But I feel if he learned how to get that finishing ability a bit better, he would be an absolute standout, definite top 10 pick in this draft. But because of that, I feel he may slip to the 15th spot. Currently, the NHL Central scouting, the guys who put all the draft picks together and consider where they're going to go, the real, like, legit guys, the NHL Central Scouting, they got him ranked at number 12. I think he's going to slip either to 15, 20, something like that, just because he lacks in finishing ability, and he seems to lack a little bit in confidence to me compared to other guys. Like, you look at this guy from Finland, this Heinola guy, Heinola. I'm brutalizing this guy's names. Heinola is how you spell his last name. But Ville from Finland. You look at him play, he just looks so much more confident than almost every other defenseman I've seen in this draft. And that's why I think if Bergevin's looking at young defensemen that's going to help Montreal this year, if I was putting my money on it, it would be this Heinola guy, this Ville guy from Finland. I know he likes the Finns, and he was so good. He played with a Chicago prospect in the World Juniors on the top line for Finland. The guys they had on their top line D before he went down in the first 5 games was a Chicago prospect in him. So this guy is definitely a standout for that number 15 pick. I'm not sure if he'll get it. I know a lot of Habs fans want to see Ryan Suzuki, but like I say, I'm giving my reasons. I'm not a scout. I'm an average hockey fan. These are guys that I've seen that I think Montreal are going to have their eyes on. Like I say, the guy that said the Raphael guy was from Montreal. He's a center/winger. I'm not 100% sure if that's what fits the need of this team, but if they are looking to add scoring, he's a pure goal scorer, and he helps on the power play, and he brings speed. If that's not fits that Montreal needs, I don't know what else is. And you look at Ville from Finland, he's confident, he's a good young left shot defenseman. He looks like he could play in the NHL next year if he absolutely had to. He could work on his skating a little bit more, but other than that, I don't really have any knocks on the guy. And you look at Cam York, he's an absolute stud. He's not small, he's 6 feet tall. He's eventually going to grow. He's only 18 years old. I'd say he's probably going to get up to 200 pounds by the time he's 21, 22. He just needs to get his finishing ability a bit better. He just needs to get his goals up a bit better. He only has 7 goals in 28 games played. He only has 10 goals, and I believe he played over 40, or I believe he played about 40 games in which he did score those 10 goals. And you look at him play, he gets a lot more scoring chances than what he puts up in points. But like I say, he's a young player. He could develop, and Montreal could take him on as a project that down the road could help. And he sounds like a good NHL name. Cam York, that just sounds like an NHL defenseman name to me. So those are my 3 picks that I think Montreal could take. And I know a lot of people are saying they hope the Habs take Ron Suzuki. If he's up there, I hope the Habs take him too. His brother's a Habs prospect. He's a good young player. I could for sure see him thriving in Montreal, but realistically, these are the 3 guys I think Marc Bergevin got his eye on, at least for now. Like we all know, by the time the draft comes, it all changes. This time last year, none of us were talking about Kotkaniemi, and by the time July came, all of us were talking about Kotkaniemi and Zadina, wondering if it was going to be Kotkaniemi, Zadina, or Tkachuk, and look who it turned out to be, and obviously we made the right pick. I wouldn't have complained about Tkachuk, but obviously we made the right pick with KK. Love KK. Anyways, guys, that's me talking prospects. Scotty2Hockey, a.k.a. Mr. Average Hockey Fan. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell for my upcoming videos. Feel free to like the video, and feel free to leave a comment. I love to hear you guys' comments. Who do you think we should pick? The more names I hear, the better, because these are the guys that stuck out in my head. I couldn't go through every single prospect. There's so many mock drafts. When I was looking at it coming into the draft, when I knew Montreal was getting the possibility of getting 15, or I didn't think they were going to drop any more than, I honestly thought with that 1% chance they were going to stay at the 15th. So I was looking at the picks they could pick at 15, and these are the guys I had in my head. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have some good suggestions. Leave it in the comments and subscribe to my videos. Thank you very much for viewing this. Mr. Average Hockey Fan, a.k.a. Scotty2Hockey. Great prospects coming up in this draft. We're going to get a good draft pick. Go Habs, go, baby.